Hello, everyone, and welcome to my read. I hope you enjoy this story as much as I do. Now let's begin, shall we? This is a remake story. Ooh, wow, a remake, let's see how it goes. Title: The Billion-Marked Princess. Theme: a princess marked for death navigates treacherous political intrigue, forbidden love, and the burden of a prophecy that could save or destroy her kingdom. Chapter 1: The Billion-Marked Princess. The chill wind whipped Princess Isolde's crimson cloak around her as she stood on the precipice, the billion stars mirroring the weight in her heart. Not stars, she corrected herself, but brands. A billion tiny, incandescent marks etched across her skin at birth, a cosmic prophecy declaring her both salvation and doom for the kingdom of Eldoria. Tonight, the prophecy felt less like a burden and more like a death sentence. Whispers of the Shadow Syndicate, a clandestine organization that sought to plunge Eldoria into eternal darkness, had grown louder. Their objective: to extinguish the billion-marked light, to assassinate Isolde. A figure emerged from the swirling mists, Sir Kalen, her sworn protector, his face etched with concern. "My princess, you shouldn't be here alone." Isolde turned, the wind catching her silver hair. "Must I always be guarded, Kalen? I long for a moment of peace, a respite from the gilded cage." "Peace is a luxury we cannot afford," Kalen said, his voice low. "The syndicate grows bolder. We received word an assassin infiltrated the castle just yesterday." Fear, cold and sharp, pierced through Isolde's weariness. She was bait a pawn in a game. She didn't understand, but she was also a princess of Eldoria, and fear wouldn't paralyze her. "Then we will hunt the hunter, Kalen. I will no longer be a passive victim in my own story." She gripped the hilt of the small dagger hidden beneath her cloak, a spark of defiance igniting within her. The billion marks might make her a target, but they also made her a weapon. Chapter 2: Shadows of the Realm. The scent of old parchment and beeswax filled the royal library. Isolde pored over ancient texts, desperate for any clue about the Shadow Syndicate and their motives. Kalen stood guard, his eyes scanning every shadow. "They're more than just assassins," Isolde murmured, tracing a finger across a faded illustration of a shadowy figure wielding dark magic. "This speaks of a forgotten god, a being of pure darkness that was banished centuries ago." Kalen's hand instinctively went to the pommel of his sword. "They seek to resurrect it." "It appears so," Isolde replied grimly, "and they believe my death will be the key." Suddenly, a section of the bookshelf swung inward, revealing a hidden passage. Before Isolde could react, Kalen shoved her behind him, his sword drawn. A figure emerged from the darkness, cloaked and masked. "The prophecy is clear, princess. You must die for the new age to begin." The figure lunged, a dark blade shimmering in the dim light. Kalen met the attack, steel clashing against steel in a furious ballet of death. Isolde, realizing Kalen was outmatched by the assassin's unnatural speed, grabbed a heavy book from the shelf and hurled it at the assassin's head. It struck true, staggering the figure. Kalen seized the opportunity and disarmed his opponent. The assassin, realizing the fight was lost, threw a smoke bomb at their feet and vanished into the shadows. Kalen coughed, the smoke stinging his eyes. "Are you all right, my princess?" Isolde nodded, her heart pounding. "They knew about the hidden passage, someone within. The castle is betraying us." The shadows of the realm were growing ever deeper, and the threat was closer than she imagined. Chapter 3: The Knight's Vow. Suspicion permeated the castle walls. Isolde, with Kalen at her side, began a discreet investigation. Every smile felt false, every word carefully chosen. One evening, while patrolling the castle gardens, Isolde overheard a hushed conversation between Lord Elmsworth, a trusted advisor to the king, and a cloaked figure. She couldn't make out the words, but the sinister tone sent a chill down her spine. Later that night, Isolde confronted Kalen. "I believe Lord Elmsworth is involved with the Shadow Syndicate. Kaelin's face hardened. Elmsworth, he's been a loyal servant of the crown for decades. Loyalty can be bought, Isolde countered. We must find proof. They devised a plan. Kaelin, using his connections within the city guard, would investigate Elmsworth's financial dealings, while Isolde would attempt to gain his trust and glean information from him directly. The next day, Isolde sought out Elmsworth in the royal gardens. She feigned ignorance, engaging him in casual conversation about the recent assassination attempt. "It is a terrible tragedy, Princess," Elmsworth said, his voice laced with false sympathy. "We must find those responsible and bring them to justice." Isolde tilted her head, her gaze unwavering. "Justice is a double-edged sword, Lord Elmsworth. Sometimes the guilty hide in plain sight." Elmsworth's smile faltered for a fraction of a second, but then returned, brighter and more unsettling than before. "Indeed, Princess, indeed." As Isolde walked away, she felt Kaelin's presence behind her, a silent promise of protection. That night, under the cloak of darkness, Kaelin made a vow. He would protect Isolde, even if it meant betraying the very kingdom he had sworn to serve. He felt something more than simple duty for Isolde, a bond that could save them or break them apart. Chapter 4, Treachery Unveiled. Kaelin's investigation revealed a series of secret transactions, large sums of gold flowing from an unknown source to Lord Elmsworth's personal accounts. The evidence was damning. Isolde, armed with this knowledge, confronted her father, King Thuron. He refused to believe her at first, dismissing it as youthful paranoia. But when Kaelin presented the financial records, the king's face paled. He ordered Elmsworth's immediate arrest, but when the guards arrived at Elmsworth's chambers, they found him gone, leaving behind only a single black feather. The truth was undeniable. Elmsworth was a key player in the Shadow Syndicate, and he had been warned. Someone close to the king had betrayed them. The revelation sent shockwaves through the castle. Paranoia gripped the court. Isolde knew they were running out of time. The syndicate was preparing their final move, and she was the target. That night, Isolde found a hidden message slipped under her door. "Meet me at the Whispering Falls, I can help you." It was signed only with a single initial, A. Trusting no one else, Isolde, accompanied by Kaelin, ventured to the Whispering Falls. There, standing beneath the cascading water, was Anya, Isolde's childhood friend and handmaiden, who had disappeared months ago. "Anya, where have you been?" Isolde cried. "I've been working undercover," Anya said, her voice urgent. "I infiltrated the Shadow Syndicate. They plan to resurrect their dark god during the blood moon, which rises tomorrow night. They will use your blood, Princess, to break the ancient seal." Anya revealed the Syndicate's hideout, the abandoned temple in the Blackwood Forest. The final battle was at hand. Chapter 5, A Queen's Gambit. Under the crimson glow of the lewd moon, Isolde, Kaelin, and Anya infiltrated the temple. They found a chamber filled with chanting figures, cloaked in black, surrounding a stone altar. On the altar lay Elmsworth, bound and gagged, his eyes wide with terror. At the head of the altar stood the leader of the syndicate, his face hidden by a grotesque mask. "The time has come," he intoned, his voice echoing through the chamber. "The billion-marked light will be extinguished, and the age of darkness will begin." He raised a dagger, its blade dripping with dark energy. Kaelin charged forward, his sword flashing. Anya unleashed a volley of arrows, disrupting the chanting. Isolde, however, knew this was a distraction. The leader wasn't after Elmsworth, he was after her. As the leader lunged toward her, she saw a glimmer of recognition in his eyes. He removed his mask, revealing the face of King Thuron, her own father. "I did what I had to do, Isolde," Thuron said, his voice filled with desperate conviction. "Prophecy was clear. You were destined to destroy Eldoria. I had to save my kingdom, even if it meant sacrificing you." Isolde felt a wave of betrayal wash over her. Her own father, the man she had trusted, implicitly, had been plotting her death all along. But then she remembered the billion marks, the cosmic power that flowed through her veins. She wasn't just a princess. She was a beacon of hope, a force of nature. She channeled her power, unleashing a blinding wave of light that shattered the altar and dispersed the dark energy. The syndicate members cried out in agony as their power was drained. Thuron staggered back, his eyes filled with horror. "What have you done?" he gasped. "I have chosen my own destiny," Isolde declared, her voice ringing with newfound strength. "I will not be a pawn in your game. I will be the queen Eldoria needs." Kaelin, having defeated the remaining syndicate members, stood by her side. Anya freed. Elmsworth, who looked at Isolde with newfound respect. Isolde, with Kaelin and Anya at her side, confronted her father. She couldn't bring herself to kill him. Instead, she stripped him of his crown and exiled him from Eldoria. In the aftermath, Isolde was crowned queen. She ruled with wisdom and compassion, guided by the light of the billion marks. She forged a new era of peace and prosperity for Eldoria, proving that even the darkest prophecies could be defied. And beside her stood Kaelin, her knight, her protector, and the man who held her heart, a testament to the power of love and loyalty in a world shrouded in shadows. Well, that was a fun read. I really liked how the story ends. If you also enjoyed my short storybook, tell me in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more fun reads.